Recording in progress.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always rhyme. With Sean is done.
What's up, everybody? Before we get started,
Hey.
I just want to say this is brought to you by Draggin Bags.
Sure is.
All right, we say it
Always.
every week. Always brought to you. Let's go. Head over to Draggin Bags. Pick yourself up some heat today. And
We dropped the new moose design.
Dude, the moose designs are always my favorite. Every time they drop them, they're sick looking bags. So go give them a check out. Was that a collab with Drip?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I
think that's just a Draggin original. But
Yeah,
anyways,
Drip is the gorilla monkey dude.
yeah, that weird monkey.
Kissel monkey.
Yeah, Kissel monkey. Anyways, not enough of the Kissel monkey. Head over to Draggin Bags. Get yourself the moose today.
Kiss yourself a monkey.
Sure, if you want, but
Yeah.
type of bag for every different thrower.
It really is.
We say it all the time. Best bags on the biz. Head on over, and without further ado, Sean, take her away.
Well, hey, thanks, Dane. That was great.
Hey,
Well, welcome back to
trying.
yet another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole podcast. It's getting kind of weird because I'm counting down the number of times we get to say that.
And I know you're sick of seeing me, so you're just like,
It's like 8. I think we'll have
days
8
ticking
episode
away.
after today. It's kind of weird, but
oh man,
hey,
Stop-
we're here.
Stop tearing up. It's
How are you
all
doing,
right.
man?
I'm doing. It's just another fun start to the work week. So just looking forward to all of that.
And we're not alone. Just lurking in the
We're not.
shadows here. One of our favorite dudes of all time, Eric Tscherne, is with us. What's going on, man?
Hey, thanks guys for having me on. Super
course.
excited to do the whole episode with you.
Hell
Look
yeah,
at this,
man.
start to finish.
So we obviously have audio gold planned for you all today. We're going to break down listen, it's the season starting to wrap up. We only have we have the Mesa signature left. After that, we got the World Championships.
Worlds, baby.
So it's gonna be time for MVP discussion, Rookie of the Year, breakout player comeback. So we're gonna start chopping up all that stuff. We got some little news on how the formatting is gonna go for juniors next year.
Okay.
I think deserves to shed some light on. We have dramatic readings, obviously.
Well, shed we shall.
Yeah. But before we get into
down.
all that, we're going to let you know what's going on in our lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
What you drinking?
Oh, you're going to do that first?
Yeah, because Sean skipped over my favorite segment.
I'm sorry. I did.
What
The
you
first-
drinking?
Was it the first time I've ever done that?
It is.
Wow.
And I even brought down a special one today, just rope swing.
Okay. I've never
Southern
had
Tier. It's a delightful strawberry mango Kolsch. Great summer beer.
Oh,
it's
wow.
fantastic. Southern Tier with a non-IPA that is a banger. I'm
Little
a big
fruity.
fan. Little fruity.
I'm
But
doing
yeah,
water.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I had a lot of water today, but then I'm working from home tomorrow, so I was like, well, I could have one beer, maybe 2. There's another one in the fridge, so we'll see how the night goes.
Just being responsible.
Yeah.
It was a late night last night. We'll get into that.
It was,
all right.
So, Eric, are you just sitting in your car ripping beers?
No, the last thing I had drank in my car was a 20-ounce Red Bull.
Oof,
There it
nice.
is.
So
Pretty close. High
full
octane.
size. That's my coffee for the day. So
I've never been I'll drink Red Bull. I'm not that bougie, but it's not my favorite. I would much rather. I'm very partial to the lemonade iced tea Monster. That's my go-to. If they have that, I'm definitely crushing that first.
That's the recovery one, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
The ones with
yeah,
less
I
caffeine
like
in
the
it.
classic
A little bit.
Red Bull's my jam.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean back in the day.
You're not
little
even
Red Bull
going
vodka.
sugar free. You dog.
no, because that's all that stuff gives me headaches. I'm all in for the regular sugar.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Or you'll shit your pants too. The sugar-free stuff. It's ridiculous.
I guess I just have a body made of steel because it really doesn't matter what happens. I could eat anything, drink anything, and I just everything still goes according to plan.
There we go. All right, so now we're gonna go in and around the hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Perfect segue.
So Eric, what's new with you, man?
Not a lot, man. It's summer, so like you're seeing out there, it's I'm on a little bit of summer break, but
Nice.
Bouncing around between different venues and trying to stop in and see friends in different places. you know. And so, I've got a couple things going on in my personal life. I'm transitioning back into the toy industry,
Hell yeah.
which is big news. I'm still going to be affiliated with Ultra, still doing team stuff with them. Still will have a role with Mark and the team there, but making it a point to try to get out and see some of my friends, especially in San Diego, because I've more or less relocated to LA over the last 2 years. So, just trying to use that summer to see my buds and,
Hell yeah.
drink some beers and throw some bags.
That's what summer's for, man.
Yeah.
I will say, after going to 2 events this year, it is a little different feel, not having like you guys have Ultra has always had a very strong presence at like every event we've ever gone to. Like you guys are showing up, big team, lots of sponsored players, and you guys have kind of gone a different route this year. So it's definitely a different feel when you go there, not seeing like the black and white. You guys are all, decked out and like the uniforms, like, more of a professional look. You guys have always took like that team aspect with it.
Yeah. We also get blended in. Like we do have a few players, like we have Chad Hunt, Bobby Hunt, top 100, and we've got a number of players that qualify in, Hua Zong and Clayton Arch and a few others that are quite good, but they all have to wear their pro jerseys now when they play, so they have a little less of that. I think you guys called it like that Globo Gym look of
exactly.
all of us matching. And
correct. For sure.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, would they have to wear their pro jerseys like in air quotes?
True. Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't have to be your jersey. It just has to be a pro jersey.
Yeah, it can be an extra
it can be
small.
anyone's.
Correct.
True to that.
Correct. At least it's the skinny guys that typically forget their jerseys.
Yes.
If your big boy forgets a jersey, like then you're struggling.
Night.
You know what I mean? You're not going to borrow one from.
Yeah. Not gonna, so you're not fitting inside of that. Like maybe you staple it to the front of your regular jersey, like that you have underneath it.
There should be some sort of like visible.
I don't know how
punishment.
their sponsors feel about it. Like when we had guys doing it back in the past, like showing up wearing a different jersey with a different name on it, Mark started to get kind of like annoyed by it at the end, and he started to be like, "You're not wearing your jersey."
Yeah.
So he started docking some of their payments and things.
Yeah. Brian, I think it was Brian Richardson or something made that post last week about people not wearing their pro jersey, and it was just a good observation. It wasn't like calling anybody out, but he was just saying like, if he was paying for somebody, wouldn't he want to do? And he would kind of want
pissed off.
I was on his side 100%. I've been on that side the whole time. I could not believe the negative feedback he was getting though. Like in the comment section, people attacking him saying like,
they're like, mind your business, bro.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, no.
Shut the fuck up. This is why the sport's not going to go anywhere. Yeah. It's because you fucking hillbillies want to wear like whatever you want.
Imagine if a PGA player showed up not wearing like their sponsor's name on their polo or something. They would be getting fined, or worse, like not even making sponsor money.
Yeah, correct. This wouldn't get paid.
Yeah. So like,
and here's my thing: is if you go above, no, go ahead, Eric.
I was just saying that in our contracts, there are definitely things like in our ultra deals with players, there have been things that if you're not wearing your pro jersey, you won't get your bonus. You won't get because they get bonuses for being on TV or winning brackets or certain finishes. And if you don't meet those requirements, you're not going to get it. So I don't understand it. But obviously players like Mark and Jamie and Logan, and there's a whole bunch of them now, Cash's parents and stuff, to make sure that he's always set. There's a group of them who understand they're going to be at the end and they are prepared to be there. I don't understand why the next group of people who's knocking on the door doesn't have their stuff.
Yeah. And then that group right there tends to be the loudest when it comes in terms of like sponsorship money. Yeah. And then crying about that there's no funds out there. Well, no offense, but like you just throwing a bag at a board is not bringing in sponsorship money anymore. And if you're not doing anything going above and beyond, like you just showing up is not enough
anymore. Did it ever?
No, but the bag market was so good at one time that certain players did sell bags just because of the name.
Yes.
Would you agree with that, Eric?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a lot of success over the past with it. Jeremiah Ellis was really good for us.
Yeah.
I mean, he was definitely had great exposure. He had great connectivity with his fans. I'm sure he does still.
Yeah.
But the reality is like we've made a lot of changes and it hasn't really changed the bottom line. So it really brings some things into question and regarding like, how much a player is truly worth.
Yeah. And that's the hard part. And like you said, those names you mentioned before, those are the first names that come to our head because they're, first of all, they're consistently winning, and in cornhole, like that does matter, seems to trump all. If you just keep winning, you can kind of do whatever you want. Like people are going to learn your name pretty quick. but they're also the ones that like put some sort of effort in.
Yeah, and they're also likable people too.
Correct.
So like easy for them.
To me, it always cracks me up because you can always tell. Like, I don't know if they just wake up one morning, they're like, I'm going to be really motivated. Like Jamie Graham's kind of famous for this. Like he will randomly come out and be like, I'm going to start becoming a cornhole coach.
Yeah,
sweet, go ham at it for 3 days, and then nothing for fucking 3 months.
Yep.
It's like that's not how it works.
Yeah, you got to follow
This
up
is an
and
everyday
keep going.
grind. Now, some people that I think are doing it really well, like Logan Chamberlain, Ethan Walker, those guys are grinding every day, making posts. Logan Chamberlain, Gavin
I love
Cano.
those guys.
Yeah,
Those guys are amazing.
And you know what? And they're not doing anything fancy. They're just putting videos out of them throwing. But guess what? Thousands of people are seeing it every day.
That's all you need.
It's just more eyes on the game, and that's all we ever ask for. Just do that shit and put some sort of Matt Wilson. I think is probably one of the best, if not the best, right now overall. Without just like with independent, like unique content
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and those are a dime a dozen now. There's a lot of fucking pros, and they're all wanting money. Well, go earn it. Go find out. Go do something. Like it just takes effort.
Well, and it's a sustained effort, right? All those guys that you just mentioned, Ethan, Logan, Matt Wilson, they put out consistent content.
Correct.
They find a voice. They do it. I don't know if any of them ever missed a payment or got docked because they didn't have their jersey, or if they just learned from seeing one of their friends go through it.
Yeah.
Because they all three are very smart. So I kind of feel like they learned it without making the mistake.
Correct.
Other players, like you kind of mentioned, like they want the get rich quick approach. So they're like, oh, I'll try this thing for a month and I'll try that thing for a month. And they don't wait for it to stick. They don't wait for it to grow into something. And they're moving on, trying to find the next big check, almost like winning a tournament, trying to win that big chunk of cash. Like I said, the guys over at like the Grip Labs, isn't that what Ethan and Logan and Colin did?
Yep.
Like that's a super cool idea to me.
Great.
There's a lot that goes into that, and they're pushing it, and they know it's a slow build. It's not going to make them millionaires tomorrow. But it's definitely going to have them in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
They're doing it right.
It's the greatest training tool that we've seen in cornhole to date, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like the first one that I've
It's
seen
also
that could
the
actually
hardest to copy, right?
Yes.
It is.
Like
100%.
It's not like a rollback trainer that like one day somebody put out and then the next day 7 companies copied it, right? Because they saw a photo of it.
Correct.
Like this is literally their very specific grips, their training that goes with that, access to them. That's a much more involved product from them.
And they were very smart about it. I mean, they've
believe-
been working on this for months and months and months. And they were smart about making sure everything was lined up and ready.
Well,
and
they're smart on the materials they use and everything because they're commonly used materials in the game. So it's printed on like a legitimate bag. But just we saw, like, was it Raven Down had like the weighted bag, which when that first came out, like that was it was an interesting concept.
wasn't it just a Jersey guy bag?
Was it just Jersey Guy that did it? Or I thought that was like part of the Raven Down.
I think that was one of his companies. The Raven Down, I think, was something he was doing.
Yeah, he drives me fucking crazy. I can't stand Chris Cook. He was always like trying to be like Mr. Like there was some like independent investor, like this secret guy making bags. Like, Chris, just give it. You're not that fucking good. Like, you just stop. Like, he thinks very highly of himself, and I hope he hears this because I can't stand the motherfucker. So
it all comes out.
He loves
now.
me. So.
Listen, I can't stand. This is one of the reasons I don't want to ever go back to Spencer's, just because like I'll probably have to run into him. So yeah, he's just I think very highly of him.
His like semi-annual post complaining about where jerseys are made is usually one of my more fun reads.
I can't wait now that I'm we're officially going to be done with cornhole. I can't wait to see that because like I can finally just I've been very good about like not burning bridges across the year.
Well, I mean, we have all these burner accounts at our disposal.
Oh yeah,
so we could just go hammer time.
First of all, the amount of times I get messages being like, "Oh, are you like interesting asparagus 7654 on?" I'm like, no. If I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna put my fucking name to it.
Yeah,
or it's gonna be the podcast page. And guess what?
The anonymous post is the worst thing that's happened. Where
Can we talk about this for a second? It is going to it's ruining Addicted to Cornhole because I can guarantee you at least half of them are pros. Can guarantee you half of them are probably pros.
Yeah.
Making shooting
They're
content.
all on that KD route.
And anytime I see somebody like does an anonymous, I fire at them. I'm like, please come at me because you have nothing. If you're a little bitch and you're gonna hide behind a name in your mom and dad's basement in the corner, then like you have no ammunition whatsoever. at all.
But it'll beat you in a cornhole match.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. It's like I love it when people like try to get tough in cornhole. It's like, what are you going to throw a beanbag at me? Like, just shut the fuck up and just put your name on it. If you really believe in something, then put it out there.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you have to hide behind a name, then you probably don't really believe it, right?
Yes,
is the way I'm looking at it. I don't know. I hate that. That's a relatively new thing, right? Where like a new change in Facebook where you can, if you're in a group, you can add a comment as an anonymous post.
Yeah.
Which is asinine.
I mean, the amount of random, like I've had anonymous posters take a picture of another anonymous posters thing and send it to me in my DMs and be like, is this you? And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
At least guys like Stanley Stepover, at least they went to the work and created a fucking page.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's not just like some anonymous. It's anonymous, but at least he made the work and like actually created like an account. If this is not just something like, oh, I'm going to add this as anonymous.
Stepover is a personality.
100%.
There's something to Stanley Stepover.
But that's what I'm saying. Whoever it is, I respect the fact that at least they grinded and created the account and then they stick in that wheelhouse. Like 100%. I'm all fine with that. It's a personality. It's a persona. Like, I completely get it. And you're hammering in the paint on one thing. I'm all for that.
Yep.
Whatsoever.
I'm here for it too.
Now we just need like anti-junior pro somebody 69. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like something like there, and then we'll be good.
How'd you know my next one? God damn you.
Eric, are you playing anymore? Like, do you ever get out or?
I get out. I play at least once a week.
Okay.
I play in a Moose Lodge league. Like I said, it's on hiatus for the summer. They're doing like this like summer series. It's a series of drop-in switch holios to the end. But normally it's a BYOP league, so I play with my buddies. We're on a rotation 3-man team.
I like
cheap
that.
drinks and 4-baggers.
Hell yeah. I like that.
We crush ultras and Coors Lights and throw 4-baggers.
Hey, that's kind of good.
Nothing wrong with that.
I do miss like league stuff. Like that's what I miss. Like the weekly competition where you go and see like the same people and people you kind of become friends with over time. Like I'm over the whole like I'll probably never go to another regional or like big event again.
I love our league because it's 4 weeks or 5 weeks. 4 weeks of just round robin play.
Yeah.
6 games. You're kind of in and out. Like that night's not a long night because it's just 6 games. It's not going into a double elimination bracket and grinding until midnight to go home. We start at 7, so it's not a rush to get there after work. We're almost all out of there by 10.
That's great.
We're all friends, and in those games, they don't matter because everybody makes the playoffs. It's just for seeding. People beat us. They're super excited about it. They lose to us. It's not a big deal. And then, at the end of the season, it's all the tension ramps up for 1 week, and then we're back at it again. So that's my favorite.
When you play with a 3-man team, how do you choose who plays in like the championship?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, we have a good 3-man roster. Normally we start with our guy Blaine. You guys met Blaine out at Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah. So Blaine's on my team with Jason Boatwright.
Okay.
And Blaine was initially our alternate. He covered for us, and we added him full time to the team. So on a regular night, I'll play 2 with Blaine, and I'll play 2 with Jason, and then they play 2 together.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Cool.
So that's 6 games.
And the league is cool with that?
It's awesome. Yeah, they're pretty cool with it. They wanted to break Jason and I up because we won a whole season without losing, and we won a bunch of seasons in a row.
Yeah.
So having Blaine on the team means we got to work a little bit.
Okay.
And Blaine brings his game too. Like
he does.
Blaine has carried us a bunch of times too. So, his SPR might be the lowest of the group, but he's a quality player too.
Blaine's one of those guys I've known for like 6 or 7 years just through like Messenger and stuff. We've chatted a bunch like throughout the years and stuff. He's a good dude. So I was happy to finally put a face to it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's a super cool dude. And, so we usually start with Blaine and I, and then, Jason, we'll look at the bracket, depending on how many teams and how many games. Usually we try to put me and Jason, if we get to the king seat together.
Okay.
So we can get that king seat placed. And then we'll often throw Blaine into the first game. If they win it, great. Otherwise it's Jason and I in the second game.
Okay.
So we kind of work backwards from that setup.
Okay.
And then,
I like that.
General idea.
That way, one of you guys is always like has an ability to like get hydrated. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I was just thinking. Like you have 2 games where you can just like
championship picture, I had 2 full beers in the championship picture. I was like, how did I have 2 full beers? Blaine proceeded to say, I got you guys championship celebration beers and you hadn't finished yours in that game. So
yeah, well, I'm a sucker for that
was
too.
Was it a real championship then if you didn't finish that beer during the game? Just saying.
Well, if they won, then
it needs to be under contest there.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to bring up, Eric, that you had kind of mentioned earlier this week is this concept of next year for the junior pros. And I don't know how widely known this stuff is yet, but they're making bigger cuts for the junior division yet again. So they're consistently kind of cutting it down a little bit. It looks like they're only going to 4 U18 players in the top 100.
Yeah. So, I still watch on Addicted and whatnot. I saw somebody post, commenting on, it might have been Gabe Clausen and whether he'll get back in because he kind of missed out in the way that the rankings worked last year.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. The top 100 qualifications that are posted show 4 U18s, which is what they were supposed to have last year, but they had a tie in doubles with Mason and Cash. So they took them both.
Okay.
Which is why there were none available for the singles qualifier. So the first qualification on, number one is the top 24 doubles teams, which is 48 players out of 100.
Yeah.
And so theoretically, doubles team 24, doubles team 16 could take a junior in, and a player like Zach Aiken, who's currently not one of those teams, not on one of those teams, Peyton Mister. There's some really great juniors, Jake Fleischer, that are not on a doubles team that's in the top 24 right now. And those players would not get a spot. So I think what I looked at, it looks like Cash is one half of the 5th place doubles team.
Yep.
So that'd be your first junior spot. Mm-hmm. Gabe and Emax are currently 6th after their win. And then Braden Wilson is at 18th with Eddie G. So those would be your 4 juniors today. And I don't suspect there'll be a ton of movement because this is your 6th, and I think they count 4.
Yeah. Who'd be the next one should one of them not want to come back next year?
Zach Aiken, he's 4th in pro singles, 15th in pro singles. He would be the first out. Then Mason Trader, Peyton Mister, Madden Franco. Then you have like Ryan Trader, Fleischer, Jace Fleischer, Jack McKinney. They're both like 21st. So, I mean, there's going to be some names that are definitely going to miss out.
Oh, for sure.
And they're going to have to keep grinding through that junior division. And, we've seen that junior division be like really tough to get through, right? Like there was a time the Gore boys would just cruise through juniors, take 2 spots, and then just crash the bracket. And while the juniors still do come out and crash the bracket, there is a lot of turnover as to which ones get out consistently because they start playing each other in those rounders games. And, there's only so many that they can add to the field. I think like they get like another 6 or 8 of them get in. So they start beating each other up.
What I would be interested in is guys like a Colt Kenner, you know what I mean? A youth player on the rise, travels a whole bunch across the country. If they said, hey, like no more juniors, even at opens, you gotta be over 18. Like this is ridiculous, or shit, you gotta be over 21. There's alcohol here. We can't do it unless you're playing in a separate junior division. You're not doing it. If they really want cornhole to grow, right? One of the reasons like I stepped away from coaching rugby when I did is because we didn't have a feeder system. We had no youth system. I was constantly picking kids out of the high school and having to teach them a brand new sport. And it gets tough.
It does.
After doing 7 or 8 years of that, like it'd be really nice to come in and have a whole team of guys that already kind of know. And then you can kind of start at a tier above, and then you're not like trying to build all season. You can already start at a certain level, then continue to ramp up. Cornhole is kind of killing themselves. If they want to grow the game in the school level, you're taking your best fucking players away. You're taking your biggest and best, brightest future stars of like cornhole in like high school, cornhole in college. You're taking them away. I've said before, like Cash Chamness, when it's time for him to go to college, is he still eligible?
I mean,
would he be?
I think as a top 100, I don't think he is.
Right? Like I don't see.
I don't think he is.
And like,
because I think, and they can change the rules because it's the ACL owns the whole college program. It's not an NCAA thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what was it? A couple years ago, Spencer Fabinar had to choose between picking up pro status or going to college on that scholarship, and he went to college for that year before he had to requalify and become a pro.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If Cash continues, let's just hypothetical, right? He continues to play for another 10 years, and then he goes off to college, and he's like, I'm gonna play college cornhole.
Yeah.
If I had to go up against him, I'd be like, no, you're not. Like, this is fucking bullshit. You were a pro for how long?
Yeah.
Like, what are we just gonna
go take a seat? You're a professional.
Yeah, we're not, are you gonna let like some 15-year-old pro that made it to let's say the top league in soccer, and you're gonna let them go to like college in the United States and suddenly just dominate? Like, you can't do that.
Now, what if all right, let's say hypothetically, like next year or like 2 years from now, they make that hard cut, no more kids. Once Cash gets up to that age, would you allow him to play in college
I think so.
after that long of a break?
Yeah, I think that's okay. But they need to get to this point, man. Like, it's getting too much. And
my argument with the whole thing is like ACL is they're starting to preach grassroots again. Like, get down to those.
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
But the attack of the grassroots shouldn't be like the local regionals any longer. It should be in the schoolyard. That's where the grassroots can really take off, because you get a kid like interested, like playing it in gym, and then like get a cornhole team at the school. You better believe that his parents are going to start, they're going to pick up boards. He's going to play in the backyard, bring friends over. Then that brings dads over. That grows the game how we used to see it back in the day. Now, it didn't start in a gym. It was always at like the campground or some shit, but like they don't need the campground anymore.
And I think
it's established
some new
there.
people. I think the way you're describing it, I think you'd get it into some new households. You get some new people coming out, as opposed to the same old crowd that, I mean, a lot of our crowd really likes to complain about things. Any change brings complaints. Doesn't matter if it's good change or bad. I think a lot of people they're very skeptical of any.
Also, think about the level of
like,
talent that could come up in 10 years. If guys started playing cornhole now and they stayed consistently, they're going to get so good by the time
you already
amazing.
get to start with bags that are just, I don't think that we're going to see better versions, like any like drastic change from where we're at now. Like,
it's hard to imagine, but
it's kind of like golf clubs from like once they hit like 2005.
Yeah.
There's not much more that they can really do currently to like make them as like phenomenal. But like, I think we're there with cornhole bags right now.
Yeah, you just have to come up with a smart marketing way of like the technology that's in the bags and why it separates them.
But my argument is like these kids are starting out with this technology already, so like you're going to become good for.
Like, they're not starting out with suede and duck cloth.
Yeah, correct. It's already, you can already throw like an ugly bag and it can still go in.
Where like you throw an 8 for a tournament, you're just like, you're a god.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder where the ACL is at, because it was my understanding that was kind of Trey's new role when he kind of transitioned, was he was kind of heading like the future development of like ACL high school stuff and college and kind of really taking that. Well, he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they haven't at least publicly announced anyone like kind of taking over that role. So like, I don't know who that was like absorbed by, but if that, maybe they put that on the back burner and be like, let's just really focus on getting the software up, even though it's like 4 months past the deadline. And let's focus on teams. Oh wait, like there's been zero fucking promotion on that, and you guys hide it in every tournament.
Yeah,
like it just every time like I try to see like give them like kudos, like it just seems like they're not doing anything. I'll give them one kudos. I think their social media's got much better.
Yeah,
I think they've gone away.
Stuff are good.
Even one thing to think about, right? Like they've made this big push for the youth market, right?
Yeah.
And largely what they've gotten with most of the youth are some exceptionally hand-eye coordinated people, but not necessarily the best physical athletes.
Yeah.
These are clearly not the guys that are going to go out on the basketball team.
Yeah.
There are also guys that are, generally not going to go play football. So cornhole is a great option for them.
100%.
Right?
Yep.
But we're not, it's rare to see somebody when you look at him and go, oh, that guy had a chance to be a minor league baseball prospect.
Correct.
Right. We have a couple of them. I don't want to take anything away from some of those guys.
Yeah.
Tony Forbes understands was a really, really good baseball player.
Well, there's a young,
he's got the physical size.
Who is the young dude? He's tall, skinny kid. He left cornhole for golf, and he's having a very solid golf. God, who was it? It'll come to me. We keep going. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Real tall, skinny
we just
kid.
haven't seen those athletes come over, right? Like I saw, it's interesting because the soccer guys are talking about it, right? Like the best athletes in the U.S. are not soccer players. They're playing other sports that are more lucrative and, give them a path out.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have to be, this is not taking a shot at anyone. All right. I don't look at Jamie Graham. I don't look at Mark Richards and scream like, wow, world-class athletes. Right.
My understanding is Jamie was an exceptional baseball player at some point in time.
So was I. So was I.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so was I.
Hand-eye
Like,
coordination.
and again, I'm not taking a shot at anyone, but like everyone was good in like little league. I played travel baseball till I was 19 too. Like I wasn't going to the fucking minors. Neither was Jamie Graham. You know what I mean? Like we're all like good athletes. I'm not saying like they're athletic, but like you're talking about physical specimens. We don't need that in cornhole. Give me your tired and hungry. You know what I mean? Give me the weak and meek. Like give me all those guys, the ones that aren't going to go travel for basketball. You still want them to do something active and they are still somewhat athletic. Like 100%. There's those guys. We went to a private high school here at Ed's in Cleveland called St. Ed's. And if you went, like I couldn't go just walk on the football team because I could, but I would never get any playing time because I was 5'7", 140 pounds in high school, and they were never going to give me a chance. That's why I picked rugby. They gave me a chance. Cornhole is like that opportunity for people that like you think you're a good athlete, you know what I mean? But maybe you just don't have the confidence. But like this is another.
Or you're not a good athlete, but you've always been able to throw shit.
Yeah, yes,
and you're just like, oh, okay. Like I mean, I know plenty of people like that. Yeah.
Like, look at wrestlers. Wrestlers are notoriously terrible hand-eye coordination people. Right? You ever see a wrestler try to shoot a basketball? It's like the most entertaining thing you'll ever watch in your life. But there's like with wrestlers comes the polar opposite of those type of kids.
All right, so hang on, we gotta talk this. So the signature jump shot for a wrestler. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, why do both knees go back and like kick their butt?
They do always.
They always jump and like bend both legs to like kick their butt when they shoot.
Oh.
And I don't know if they're like sprawling action or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It is though. It is.
Every basketball or every wrestler I've ever seen shoot basketball always shoots that way. It just always throws me through a loop.
It is.
Anyways, sidebar. Return back to the original.
And I know I've harped on this a bunch throughout the year. It's just like the more it goes on, and this is we're not even talking about like the gambling side because ACLs definitely seem like they've kind of moved on from that side.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to touch the ACL with a 10-foot pole because of juniors. They had to pay back money, and like no betting service ever wants to do that shit.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to go out and like say names or anything, but I know that like a lot of these young guys, there's a lot of them I think that are still gambling. I think they're like that Brendan Sorsby. I think there's a lot of that going on within the pro cornhole field. And you know, I mean, I was sitting there going like, I knew there were people who were talking about how many 4-baggers they had to throw in their televised teams match from whatever they were betting on.
When there's like that prize pick stuff.
Notoriously bad luck, so I don't bet.
Yeah.
But I don't bet on Kalshi and all these different like over and under things that had existed over the years. But I heard people talking about it, and I'm like, are you guys betting on each other? And everybody was coy about it, but I'm like, you know way too much.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I worry about some of these young dudes. Yeah, like these young dudes and some of the money they're talking about, like gambling, like playing poker all the time and like betting online. I'm like, dude, this is just a slippery slope right now.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know it's
one bad beat to like sink your life. Like,
and the other thing is like, again, we've talked about this before, but like, it's a party scene too when you go to cornhole and like there's alcohol involved. And luckily, nothing major has ever happened in an event, but this is just a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Something inevitably is going to happen. And then the ACL is going to. So my thing is just be proactive for fucking once. Be proactive and do this.
Yeah. Just bite the bullet. We should have done it years ago.
Hold on one second, Eric. We're gonna pause Eric, we're gonna pause just for a second. Our video stopped here. I want to make sure everything's still recording. This is not recording.
Recording stopped. Progress.
All right, sorry about that. Our camera stopped working for a second, so we want to make sure everything is smooth. But Eric, you were saying.
We were talking. I actually lost our train of thought there for a minute.
You were going off on the tangent about like people in the podcast world because we're smart, we're savvy enough to record on 2 different platforms at the same time, just in case something fails.
We have more backup. Awesome. We have more backups than anything else.
Yes,
there have been many nights, like 5 years ago, that we were down here just motherfucking each other, being like, "We're done. Like, we can't do this. It's 2 a.m. Like, this fucking thing won't upload." And then for grace, God wanted this to happen because then he would just, for no reason, it would just work. Boop. It would just start working. And then I'd go home and be miserable at work the next day because I got 3 hours of sleep. But God damn it, the episode was up. So it worked.
I listen to your episode every single Wednesday morning. Sometimes it hits for me because I'm on the West Coast. I'll see a thing at like 9 o'clock at night or something like that. I'm like, I got to save it for my drive. But you guys have always been consistent. You have segments. You kind of produce your show. You clearly talk about it. You must have some notes back and forth, at least a little bit. Maybe not as much now, but you know, the reality is, like, you know what beats you have to hit, and you can produce a great show, and you've done it consistently. You guys go on vacation and you pre-roll stuff. You're ready to go.
Well, like, one of the reasons that
a lot of credit for that.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that we're going to take a little bit of a break after this, is just because it's been a lot getting through.
It's been a freaking grind, man.
It has been a grind.
People don't realize, like, look at all the podcasts out there. Like, I don't think there's a single one for the last 6 years that has dropped an episode every single week without missing, Joe Rogan included.
You guys are like, that's special. Like, you guys do it every single time, and it's well produced, and it's got creative segments. And I've listened to it change from when you guys were doing bag reviews to when you guys started doing dramatic readings to how you guys have your reads for your sponsors. It's just, you guys have quality, a quality show. You guys put in a lot of work.
We have a very
I've appreciated it all this time.
You're one of the very loyal listeners, and I would say there's about probably right around 1,000 of you guys that are like, no matter what,
true OGs.
By the end of the week, we're at 1,000 downloads, and it's like the people that have always listened. Now, sometimes it depends on guest, but like for the last year or so, it's been pretty much like loyal listeners. You know what I mean? We've been pretty steady almost every week. We know how many listeners are going to get, and to me, that's always been like a gauge. Like, I like to look back on things and like, what are we missing on, right? Like, are we missing the mark on, like, are we not hitting the new cornhole players anymore?
Yeah.
And I think a little bit when we started going away from bag reviews, that we kind of missed that mark a little bit.
But there's no more bags to review. That's kind of where when we ended our bag reviews was because we weren't seeing as much originality.
I mean, I would argue they're throwing 3 different slow sides and 1 to 2 fast sides, depending on if you want to count one of them being flip-flopped, bonded or unbonded.
I mean, it got to a point where like I could just take a bag out of a box, feel it for a few seconds, and be like, I'm going to like this or not.
Yep.
100%. I just know the materials. I know how it's going to play. Like, I know, but I also, the reason we did it though, one of the main reasons when we started the show is like, just give people a platform. Mm-hmm. I mean, shout out these small bag makers that no one's ever going to hear about, and at least get to prop them up. So, but it's been fun. Like, I'm pumped. Like, I want to kind of end this on a good note. And it's been difficult coming up with content this year. I don't know. It's just been a weird, like, year in cornhole. Like, there hasn't really been like that much stuff that's happened. And I guess that's a good thing. Like, there's not drama, which is kind of a good thing, but it's boring.
Also, like, in our area, it's not popping off like it once did. So it's just like a little deflating out here too. Like, we still love seeing our boys and stuff, but like the problem is it's only our boys that are going to it now. You don't see like just like 100 other people like it used to be. Like,
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland was a huge hotbed for a long time.
It was.
Being somebody who was born and raised there, like I was like, man, I wish I could have experienced that with some of those guys. And they're good players and good people, but you don't have that amount of them traveling like they used to.
Yeah, I don't know how much they do like on a typical like Monday league night. They still seem like they do decent numbers, but I don't think it's like the 200 people it used to be, like jam packed in a small gym.
They probably have like 80 people. At Monday.
It's not terrible.
No, but then like the problem is that it became a hotbed in Cleveland for like I can do it better as like running blind draws and stuff. So like a bunch of different people are just running stuff every night now.
Well, I think there's this misconception that people who run cornhole tournaments are also getting rich off of this somehow.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand it.
I mean, it's the same in all aspects. Like, everybody does it in cornhole. So somebody's going to try to do a podcast. Somebody's going to try to run a tournament. Somebody's going to try to start a bag company. Somebody's going to start an apparel company. And, everybody thinks it's easy. The reality is because you guys are successful at it. It took a lot of work to get to where you guys are at today. And
I will be the first to admit, I have dropped the ball the last 6 months on social media side. I'm burned out, folks. Like, I just don't have the time in my life or the energy to do it anymore. And like in the back of my head too, and it's terrible to admit this, but it's like, why am I doing it? Like, if we're ending the show anyways, like, I'm not trying to grow our audience anymore. Like, if I post stuff when I think it's funny, that's literally it. Like, I'll send it to him. If he sends me a crying laughing emoji, I'm like, all right, I'm going to post it. If not, then I'm just not going to post it. It's not worth it anymore to ruffle the feathers, but if I think it's funny, I'm going to do it. But
that's also, I think, really why you stepped away. Like the last couple of posts we have, people were just crybaby bitches about it. So we're just like, dude, fuck it.
Yeah, man.
We're just trying to have a laugh, and everyone just wants to take the world too serious.
I'll say it right up front. Like the whole my interaction. Oh, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that's a microcosm of what's gone on with the sport, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got the old guys who are around that are really good, so they're just going to keep doing what they do because they can make some money, right? Whether it's an older bag company, somebody who's got it figured out, and you've got the new ones that are coming up and pushing, and you just kind of got this environment where it's a bit toxic, and players kind of they lose a desire to keep going if they're a mid-level guy. Like, you guys said you guys used to play, but unless you're shooting 9s and 10s now, and really 10s, like, can you really even win your local league sometimes? Yeah. It becomes unfun if you're not, I've been talking with Michelle quite a bit, and she's, if you're not, I compete. So, for me, I'm trying to reset and figure out like what I love about the game.
And you talk about Michelle Thompson.
Night, even if I think she's awesome. I think she's trying to find some stuff in the sport. You guys had a great interview with her a couple weeks ago. And, I reached out to her because I was frustrated the other night after shooting a 10-something, and my competitiveness got turned way up. Yeah. And then I got a partner who wasn't going to match that. And, that was not a good match. Right. And, when you go to a weekly cornhole, and what the average cornhole player likes is they like a switcholio where it levels the playing field. They get a chance to maybe play with one of the good players in the area, one of those, semi-pros or pro players. And, they're going to get on a run, a handful of times a year. The pro player is going to get on a run a handful of times a month. Yeah. They want that opportunity. They want that field level. And I think that's why you see them backing out of regionals, because they go to a regional and, it is the top 2 players partnering up. It's not best friends anymore, neighbors or brothers. Right. Yeah. I think that changed when Matt and Jamie came together years ago as the, sort of original super team. 100%. They really changed the makeup of cornhole. 100%. Gone were the teams that were like Cody and Adam. Yeah. Or Brevin and Tyler. And shout out to all those guys because they went for a long time. They're friends. Trying to do it the older way. Yeah. Real friends, right? They were either in the same state or, down the street from one another. They rode that bus together all over the country, if you will.
Yeah, Jamie and Matt were definitely the first like professional team, like the first like business transaction. Like it was a
business decision.
Yep, 100%.
You guys remember when that news dropped?
Because it has
shocked the world.
The level of cornhole's risen because of that, right? We saw Tony Smith partner with Mark Richards, and he went from like showing up without his stuff to like really he's a real good professional cornhole player. So good that he's got something going on that. He's still better than everybody else. Yeah. And he's still, he's got something going on.
Well, I think Tony and Mark are unique because Yesso's business decision when they first started became friends. I think they became really good friends throughout the process, which I don't think everyone has the privilege to say that.
But I think personality wise was a really good fit getting to know them both.
Yeah. Because they are kind of similar guys when we talk to them.
They recognized each other, right? They recognized each other. Mark recognized that Tony could do things that Mark doesn't do. Yeah. Still to this day, Tony's a wizard. And Tony recognized in Mark the professional approach to the game, right? And Mark still has a good time.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Because he's so locked in. Yes. But he's a really nice guy.
He's a fun guy. He is. Yes, he is.
I don't know, between the tournament, not so much, but but he's locked in doing his thing.
So, his ability to lock in is very impressive because he's a totally different person outside of the game. Yeah.
And Tony too. Like, I think they recognize that. I was in a car ride one time with Tony and he gave me some great advice. And it sits with me to this day. He was like, I don't know when I've won the tournament. Like his friends have to tell him it's over, they kind of got to tap him and be like, oh, this tournament's over. You won. And then he can celebrate because he's so focused on win. That's why it was about a year ago in Mesa when they had that snafu. Yeah. And Jamie conceded and Tony thought he won. I was like, this is bad for Tony. As soon as I heard it, so this is really bad for Tony because for Tony, the emotion piece was not in control anymore. Yeah. Getting that adrenaline of I've won. That was the last match. I'm going to TV and then bringing it back down. Like, I mean, I was there one time. Like I got to a bracket final. Jamie and Matt Guy destroyed me and the infamous Ron Kugel. but we got to a bracket final in pro doubles, and at the long way, we lost our first game and went all the way back to them.
Over under 20 words spoken by Ron Kugel all day.
He was nice. I would go with 30 words.
Okay, yeah, so just over.
Yeah,
all right, I get that. Sounds about right. He's a very nice guy.
You're chatty, so I get it.
Yeah, you forced it out. Yeah, he's very nice.
I had a lot of fun. Ruben Snyder connected us because my pro partner didn't go to that 4th of July event back in the day. And so I went and I needed a partner, and Ron and I had a run, but they told us we were going to play that match on TV. And then, I'm walking around, I've kind of let my hair down a little bit because I'm like, I'm not going to stay ramped up for another 5 hours to broadcast. I'll get there later. And then they're like, no, this is a bracket final. You got to play these out because it could be a double dip. And I was like, oh no, now we got to play the best in the world.
And I just crushed 2 beers in 30 seconds.
Oh no, I had the most epic delivery. Brian Brewer handed me a White Claw in my first round. Ron had given up a couple points, like 2 to Matt. Matt threw a 12. Ron threw a 10. Figures, right? They're both there. Ron's very good.
He is very good.
And Jamie and I got in a weird round. Jamie destroyed me the rest of it, but I hit an airmail drag. I remember asking Ron, I go, you want me to shoot this or do you want me to lay it up for like a 6-6 wash? It made no sense. I don't know how Jamie did it, but I didn't wait too long for, Ron to tell me that I could lay it up, and I shot it and I drug one and I got like a 2 or a 4 out of it, something, and promptly put my hand out. Brewer delivered that White Claw. That also was the end of the game. They destroyed us.
But you had that moment, though. That's all that matters. And you have a clippable moment, and that lives forever. Like, that's literally
it's on my phone. It's awesome.
For sure. All right, so one of the things I wanted to do is start this MVP talk. And just kind of throw out some names of who we think that probably deserves to be on the list. Because, yes, there's one more signature, but by now we typically have a solid list of there maybe will be one change at the end that could flip-flop, but it seems like we have a list of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 7. They typically put 6 on the list.
Master list.
I kind of want to just kind of break down and we'll go through each one. So the first one we had down was Logan Chamberlain. He's won 2 brackets out of 5 so far. Mm-hmm. He is 2 for 2 though. When he wins his bracket, it means he's going to win the whole fucking thing.
He's taking it down.
All right?
Yeah.
He's also made the final 4 1 out of 5 times in doubles. Mm-hmm. All right. To me, very disappointing. Yeah. I look at him and Gavin Cano and how much work they put in, and something's not right. Like, this has got to be an off year.
Well, I mean, they're knocking on the door consistently. They just haven't gotten over that hump.
My prediction would be like, they're going to, again, this is just a funny year, but then next year, man, it's going to be, they're going to find their footing and they're going to burst out.
They made a big change to do this, right? Yes. And JBJ went out and got it done with cash.
Yeah.
They definitely have. They won an open. I think they won something in doubles.
Yeah. You actually can't attribute open to the MVP.
Only pro stuff. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So it's only pro stuff. But Logan being 2 for 2, winning a bracket and winning 2 in singles is a big deal. Yeah. And again, for Logan Chamberlain, who was a doubles guy for a long time, it's kind of now stepping into like he might be the best player in the world right now. He's definitely in that consideration.
I'm very much with you, and I'm not necessarily holding doubles against him.
Yeah, exactly. I think what he's done so much is he still won a bracket. It's not like he's gone 0 for 5 and like they have a terrible season. Like they're still in the mix. Correct.
He is always at the end.
The next person I want to bit, the lovable, or just one of our favorite dudes, Colin Hodet. He has made 3 bracket finals.
Yes, he has.
He's won his bracket 3 times. He's won one of them.
Yes.
He made the broadcast twice. Doubles has not been his best friend.
It hasn't,
which is very weird because he's been playing so well in singles, and he's playing with a player in Gage Landis who's just just such a good player. And Gage is one of those guys that flies under the radar and has just gotten better every fucking year. Mm-hmm. They're a team very much like Logan and Gavin. It doesn't make sense when you put it on paper why it hasn't worked out. Sometimes it's just a shitty game, bad draw, whatever it is. Colin, that his lack of double success, though, is going to hurt him in this MVP category, which sucks because he's had such a good season and he's currently sitting number 1.
Yeah, 100%. I agree because it does suck that you have to factor in doubles. Him up
because my initial vote was probably Logan, and there's some other players on the list that I think deserve a lot of credit as well. But when I went and looked at the standings today before this, I saw that Colin was still number 1, and I was like, dang.
Yeah,
just by like 10 points or about recency bias.
I mean, he's won his bracket 3 times in this pro field, in the day and age where he's a rollback guy.
Yeah,
and he's still up there in PPR, and he's winning his bracket. I mean, to me, for a guy that had a very solid rookie season, but then to really take that next leap this year and dominate and win 3 out of the 5 so far,
and completely change your game.
Yeah,
to do it. Like, I mean, he throws the exact same bag, but how he pours bags in is just so impressive.
Because to me, winning it all, obviously,
are very subtle to get.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Because it's all the same shot.
Correct. To me, like, yes, winning it all is very important, but winning your bracket is very impressive too. So, like, you can't win it all unless you win your bracket. So you got to start there. The next one, to me, I probably put him over Hodet right now, is Mark Richards.
Just because he's got double success on the tail end.
He's also won his bracket 3 times, and I think people kind of forget that because he had so much success early on in the season.
Well, it's also Mark Richards. I feel like everyone just assumes he wins his bracket every time.
And do people remember he did win one? You know what I mean? Like, he won the very first one, and in doubles though. This is where Mark is just so hard to beat in an MVP race. He's won his bracket 4 out of fucking 5 signature events with Tony Smith. Now, mind you, he's got Tony Smith as partner.
Yes,
but still. I mean, we have Logan and Gavin. They've only won 1. You know what I mean? Like, and they're doing 4 out of 5 times, and they have a target on their back. They're the number 1 doubles team in the world. They're going to get everyone's best game all the time. Now, I don't know if they have a little bit of the what we'll call Matt Guy effect.
Yeah,
when teams step up to the board, like, oh shit, we're going to face Tony and Mark. Like,
grip
we're
that
already
bag a little bit harder.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I think by now they probably have earned that a little bit, but Mark's biggest thing is
one of those guys. Those top 100 players are not like that. Like, every one of those top 100 players is capable of beating just about anybody once. So they're bringing it. And that might be, in all honesty, that might be the more impressive part of what's going on with Mark, because Tony's going through something that probably has to do with defending their spot, right? Being up on top and like second guessing his shot because, some guy's going to do something crazy next to him because he's playing against, Colin Hodet or some guy who can do anything, right?
Yes.
And nobody's taking it easy on those guys anymore.
No.
And the reality is Mark and Tony are still there at the end, and Mark's there at the end for double or for singles too. Like, he is the standard.
He is. I would think the next name that deserves to be on this list is probably Ryan Windsor. He's won his bracket twice. He's made a broadcast once.
Yeah.
Him and Cameron Belvin have also won their bracket
twice, right?
Once.
Was it just once? They made another deep run though.
They did. Yeah. I think they lost in the finals, but they did win their bracket one time. Ryan Windsor I don't think he's going to win MVP, but I think we're going to find his name on either like breakout player or comeback or one of the two. I don't think it can't be breakout for Ryan Windsor.
To me, I think he's already broken out. It's got to be comeback, right?
I think so. Yeah. And I could not be happier to see Ryan Windsor happy.
Yes.
When I talked to him in Vegas, when I pulled him aside, I'm like, dude, like,
there's just a levity about him. It's so
and
nice.
He's kind of a goofy. He's an interesting cat, man.
Yeah.
And then every time I go up to him, I'm like, do you know who I am? And he like laughs every time. He's like, yes, I know who you are. I'm like, okay.
It's like I made you take me
so
on
you know
a tour
I'm
of your
talk
bedroom.
To you. Yeah. So I'm like, I do remember that. Early on, he was leaving his brother's Little League game, right?
Yeah, and I was like, why are you shirtless?
Yeah, that was very, yeah.
I mean, something to say too about him, right? His doubles performances with what you would refer to as maybe an unlikely partner.
Yeah.
He's not partnered with, and that's not to say anything from Cameron, because Cameron is really, really good.
I would argue though, really outside of Cheyenne,
you probably wouldn't have picked her.
Yeah.
We had a big question mark about them. Like Windsor and Belvin, like, yes, they're a team, but like, what do you expect out of that? And like, honestly, to be fair, Ryan Windsor hasn't given us a whole lot to be like hopeful for before this year.
True.
But that just shows you when you get your shit together and you have like, he's got a big boy job now and he's happy and everything just falls into place. All of a sudden you start throwing better.
Yep.
And Cameron Belvin, outside of Cheyenne, she's had the most success of any female in the pro division by far. Like, I think it was 2 years ago she won her bracket. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, based on the standings last year, you probably would have thought like maybe Sam would have like a big jump, and because Cameron was kind of like mixed in with the other ladies. But Cameron is a gamer; she does show up in big time moments. They did last year. Her and Almanza qualified into the World Championship bracket through the Challenger brackets.
Yeah.
Both re-earning their pro spots. That was huge.
Yeah.
And it's another year since she had her baby. Right?
I was just going to say, and people forget last year she had a baby. Like, she was still like postpartum
killer,
again. And she was still doing well. So I'm happy to see her doing well. Like she's been very consistent. And not just, I would argue she's better as a pro singles player than she is in the women's singles. Like for whatever reason, she just tends to have had historically more success. Like has she ever won a women's singles title?
Yeah.
Has she?
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to think.
Mixed doubles and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But singles,
crazy stuff.
You think of how good she's been for so long. I'm sure she has, and I'm just like I can't remember one off the top of my head. But
I'm sure the routine now of another year since she had her baby, the routine that she gets from like the people that run AAR. I slips my mind the woman who runs AAR, but like
Brad
the
and
shuffle with the baby. And I'm sure I've seen Noah stepping up and holding, and hanging out with and I don't know their baby's name, but I've seen she's much more professional now, right? Like she's just got a way of handling the tournament.
Yeah.
As she goes from game to game, she's able to really, focus, handle her child when she needs to, but also I think the child is going, hey, mommy's in that game. Give her that 20, 30 minutes, hour. Some of these games take fucking forever now.
God,
and it's really helped. So
I would argue that if we give as much credit as to Mark Richards, all right, in the doubles aspect, Ryan Wiedenfeld has to be on this list. He's won his bracket once in singles, most recently in Fort Worth, and he's also they've won their bracket 3 out of 5 times in doubles, and he's won the first 2. I mean, that's a pretty damn good resume. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get him over the top, but he definitely deserves to be on the list for this year. And Wiedenfeld's always been that guy
he did a change in bags too.
Yeah, man. And
that's a big change, right? He changed bags.
Yeah, and yeah, correct. And he's throwing them very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's so frustrated because you watch him play and you're like, that could be the best player in the world. But he's admitted that he just doesn't want to play 40 round games. He wants to get over, and he wants to try to score as many points as he can and get over it. And that's just not that style. Rarely does it work now. But when he can put it all together, we saw it in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. And he had taken down Mark Richards twice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a nice little feather in his cap there. I think he's going to fall short of it, but hopefully him and Roybal can finish up doubles and finish as the top doubles team in the year.
His patience, though, has much improved.
Oh,
and I don't know if that's because he's playing with Chris, because the way Chris handles himself, they're very similar. You want to talk about people who don't talk. There might be 3 words said any given game between those 2 players.
Unless you get Chris in front of a keyboard, because then he'll put out a paragraph or 2, like just like really insightful stuff. And I'm like, where is this at, man? Chris is a little.
No, I love Chris.
He's cooler with us, though, just because I think we've been around him so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Like every time I see Chris, I always have good conversation with him just because he's comfortable around us. Like we've seen him enough, like throughout his career.
He's a very good player. I was very happy to see where he's gotten to and where the West has gotten to with Emacs winning and Spencer and Tony.
Yes.
There was a time people like gave Chris crap because they said like, oh, it's so easy to qualify to be a pro from the West. And Chris is out there just killing it still. So
yeah, it's not easy anymore.
It's nice to see.
I don't think it was ever that easy. I think it was more like people's will to travel. Not many people were seeing the full talent scope of the West.
Yeah.
Out east,
I was expecting a little bit more. I thought for sure we would have seen a win by Fabunar and Forbes by now, just especially after the start they got off to. But like they kind of cooled down a little bit. But they're a team that comes to World Championships and they ended up winning in doubles. Like I don't think anyone's really shocked.
I like their team though because they're just there to have a good time.
It seems like
they truly are. Like I feel like they're just if the game's not fun for them, they're not going to find success. So I hope they keep that levity to it.
And that's the line that they ride, right? So as soon as they figure out just a couple of things to just ride that professional side of that line, a little bit more, just a bit, because I like the looseness and the happiness they play with. They're actually really enjoying playing professional cornhole, which you can't say everybody looks like they're doing. Yeah. So, kudos to them.
Yes.
But that fun lovingness can get them in trouble at times. And that. So as they mature and become a little bit more professional, keeping that fun lovingness, but also knowing when to take those chances and that risks, I think they could be a really dangerous team.
I would love to just have those two just hang out with Mark and Tony for a whole tournament. Like just watch how they do. Like they still have fun off the boards, but when it's time to game time, they lock the fuck in. And there's no goofiness. Yeah. It is serious conversation. And again, you don't want to take that away from them, though. Yeah, exactly. And it's like
they don't have to become Mark and Tony. It's more like I agree with Eric's point. Like just get to the point of where you know how to just ride it. You can still be happy, enjoy good shots.
Don't let your emotions take over like the shot selection. I think that's where they struggle with sometimes. And
just because you hit that last airmail doesn't mean you have to go for that miracle shot in the next round.
Correct.
Sometimes
maybe
2
they
points
should
is
go
enough.
out with Kingsbury because he knows that line.
Yes, he does.
Very true. I mean, and maybe if Forbes shaved, maybe that's the key.
Could be.
They just both go baby face. You know what I mean? Baby face assassin kind of a look, going into the world fresh. I mean, maybe a haircut.
I think Forbes just tired of getting carded. So
listen, I get it, brother. He's gonna have that for a while. These next two, I don't know how you differentiate them in terms of like who do you put 7 names on? Do you cap it at 6? You have Cash Chamness and Gabriel Clausen. All right, Cash Chamness is won his bracket once in singles, but he's won it twice in doubles, but he also took it down in doubles. Gabriel Clausen's the opposite. He's actually won his bracket twice in singles, only won his bracket once in doubles, but he also took it down.
Yeah.
So it's like there's that crossover a little bit. They're both really talented dudes. I don't know how you would keep one on and not the other. I really don't understand like how you would do that. Like, do you take off? Like, you can't take off a Wiedenfeld because they've won 2 doubles and he's at least won his bracket once. Now, if Wiedenfeld hadn't won his bracket, he's not in this. But because he won in Fort Worth, I think he gets that notch in there.
Yeah, that little extra kick.
Now, I think it's really going to come down to the list seems pretty set right now.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that maybe Windsor could get left off if Cash and Clausen both come out and do really well in singles.
Yeah.
Or really well in doubles. Who knows? I mean, Clausen's been an interesting one because you look at that team and you would think that they would have done, like, I was shocked that was their first time that they had won their bracket.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm almost thinking like, do we not have the right people there at the end? Because aren't we missing Zach Aiken on this list?
No.
Didn't he take some down?
He did.
Too?
He won singles. He did. He
won a singles, and they made the bracket in doubles too. I thought
they did in Fort Worth.
He's high up.
Yeah, you're right. He's
definitely high up.
Yeah, I guess Aiken should be on this list over Cash and Clausen then.
But then, I mean, he's also number 4 in overall points right now, and then we also are skipping over the number 5 and Jamie Graham.
He hasn't done anything.
So not doing anything, but we've always preached consistency.
Yeah, I know, but like when it comes down to wins, I'm not going to give.
Because there's 6 of them now. You got to get like a SIG win now to be in the conversation.
I think you do.
If you go in the years past, we have preached that consistency.
Here's the thing: if Jamie Graham, how many?
So he'll jumble your ballot if he wins this one. Because he could definitely do it, and this is his time of the year. So he comes out and wins in Mesa. Cross country too, because that's bigger for Jamie.
All right,
right?
so
He doesn't like those big long trips.
Let's play the hypothetical.
If he comes cross country, he wins Mesa.
Well, let's play the hypothetical game, right? Let's say that he wins in Mesa, so that'll give him 1 singles win. That would give him a total of 2 bracket finals in singles out of 6. Okay. And then in doubles, they've made the bracket finals also. Was it twice?
Yeah, I think it's twice.
Graham and Trzynski.
Or is it just once?
Just once. So, I mean, does he really deserve it? Like, if he wins it, they're going to put him on because Jamie Graham. But he's not going to win MVP this year. He just there's no road before the World Championship for him to gain enough ground. I would argue, yes, he's been very consistent, but it's been so spread out. It hasn't been Mark Richards winning 4 of them and then Jamie Graham like taking second place and winning his bracket every time. Yeah. He just hasn't. He's been there. Don't get me wrong. He's still 5th. Obviously, he's a stud.
Go to the World Championship and go, this is it for me. I'm going to win the World Championship. I don't care who wins the MVP.
Who won it last year?
That's him, right?
Who won the World Championship last year?
Yeah.
So that means he's not going to win it this year. He'll win it next year. Like he's like an every other year kind of thing. But he's always a tough out. And Jamie Graham is still a top 5 player, probably top 3 player in the world. But we're talking about this season's MVP. He's just not on it. If we're doing power rankings, of course he's still top 3.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
That's good.
All right.
I am just I missed Aiken.
Is he just not on it though because he missed the first one? Like you said, it's 2 out of 5, and it's really 2 out of 4 for him because he skipped the first one. He was sick.
Well,
he played doubles and didn't play singles.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. Well, if you just don't get sick. Yeah. I mean, but again, like he's made it once. If outside of Mason, like that's all he has.
His points could his points could make a big swing, right? Because he's had some crummy bracket starts. He's going to have a much better bracket start.
I've also think he's taken second in his bracket 3 times. So like he's been there. Like he could very easily have won his bracket 4 times. And we're sitting here been like, all right, is it Mark or Jamie again? Like, goddamn, like this is exciting.
Yeah, but if he had that one out, if he finished 5th in his bracket and then swaps that for a bracket win, that's going to see a point jump for him. And
I don't care.
Definitely go into the
to me, I don't want to go. And that's what I purposely do not look at the standings right now. Like when I'm doing this stuff, I want analytics, like show me what we're at. And then if it's so close and I'm seeing like, let's say I'm right between Logan and Mark, then I'm going to go look at some stats like whose PPR is better, whose DPR is better, who has a better 4-bagger percentage. Like that's where I try to get nitpicky with that. I obviously,
well, I saw Jamie down there with like maybe the highest CPI of the top 10.
He's still 10.98.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's still Jamie Graham.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's still a top 3 player in the world. But in terms of MVP voting, I just don't think he has the resume this season to win it all. We were talking earlier. I don't really know who's going to win outside of like for a breakout or for a comeback player of the year. I would argue it's got to be between Ryan Windsor and Eddie Grindersleeve. Eddie G, his nickname for the last 7 years for us has been Steady Eddie. He'd been Steady Eddie 6 of the 7 years.
Yeah.
Last year was a little hiccup. I think it was like 49th. Right?
49th,
around there. This year he's sitting at 11th.
Yeah.
Overall
Big
in
jump.
singles. He's missing that signature bracket win. But again, like he's done enough for these kind of like, that's why you have like a comeback player. Ryan Windsor, I think, gets a nod over him just because he has the bracket wins. I have no idea for breakout player who's even going to be in consideration. Like there hasn't been like that clear cut. Like every year there's been one guy.
I think it's Hoden.
That could be very it.
Right?
Honestly, that's probably.
I just like because
you might see them like that's a place you could also honor Wiedenfeld, right? Like he's always been there, but he hasn't broken over, right? So him.
I thought he might be a comeback candidate too.
The problem is, I believe in this. I'll double check this, but I believe in this category we're only supposed to take in consideration singles. Let me look. No, it's singles and doubles. Okay. Yeah. Another breakout player.
Other one I'll throw out just as a wild card is I saw Jacob Harrison made like a huge jump in ranking, right? I'll even throw it out to last week's guest or the week before's guest, Mike Hoffman. He made a massive jump from like 121st to 49th. That's your guy. So, big fan.
One of the guys that I thought maybe would be in consideration, just he's one half of a very good doubles team, is either Richard Nyberg or Colin Powers.
Yeah.
They're two names that have kind of. Colin Powers is hurting a little bit because of his singles ranks 86, but I mean you figure Nyberg is sitting at like 35th or 36th, like right around the mid 30s, I think it is somewhere if I remember. Yeah. The other one is
kind of peaking at the end of last season. Right, he peaked and then carried it into this season.
Look up last year's standing for Sliker.
Yeah,
and Dane pulled up another name that we had been talking about, and he's become one of our favorite guys. Tommy Sliker is another guy that started making a name for himself last year. Really, kind of seems like it's kind of finding it a little bit. He's 40. He was finished 41st last year, and he's currently sitting at 18th.
Yeah.
So that's another jump right there. So if I'm thinking of names, Nyberg, I'm thinking of Windsor, I'm thinking of Eddie Grin or breakout. We're talking about breakout players. So so we're like Nyberg. We're talking about Jacob Harrison. I think Tommy Sliker has a good chance at doing stuff. So I'll be interested to see what other names they kind of add on there. I have not nerded out completely and looked back at who finished like bottom of the barrel and go up.
Yeah, we'll see like who was toward the bottom and like had the biggest jump.
Today was a good MVP conversation though.
It was.
We have to spread out the content here, folks.
It's a good start.
Right. Or someone needs to get in a fight or something, so we have something to talk about. But
throw a bag or a chair. I don't know.
Or somebody have a bathroom break or just something. Like, come on, we need something.
Where's Giselle?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Let's not bring that up again.
You're gonna cease and desist.
Yeah, written in crayon.
And I don't know if we ever brought this up. I had the opportunity for the first time when we were in Cleveland, or when the signature was here, to talk to Rosie Streaker.
Oh,
what a delightful
she's awesome
person. Like that, I still want to get her on the show.
She's like such a cornhole mom. Like,
she was just so nice. And I went up to her and I'm like, I don't know if you know who I am. And she she did. She knew of us, but she didn't know which one I was. So I introduced myself, and we had a good 30-minute conversation, her and I. And I'm like, I would love to get you on a show. I think you're fascinating. You've been in the game forever. You have such a cool background, and you and your husband have been in, like, you're both like OGs, like since we've been around. So she's one of those, like, the last few episodes I'd really like to try to
finally got her
get her on the show. But yeah, she was such a
saving the
sweetheart.
final episode for Noah.
Oh man. Yeah, man, that's I mean, I'll admit, like, when he, like, that whole thing started my lack of social media stuff. I'm like, why am I don't need this in my life. I don't need, like, to get attacked by, like, I have things, like, I have this life with the podcast. Yeah. But then, like, I have a whole other world I try to keep somewhat separate, like, which I call my professional life. Yeah. That I don't know, most people in the cornhole community, like, don't know that about us. But, like, we both do very well outside of this podcast. And this is just something, like, a hobby for us that has just been fun, and I get to hang out with my brother once or twice a week and just guarantee it. So that's awesome. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, the whole thing, like, and it wasn't even him as much because, like, he's been a hater forever. Yeah. Honestly, the one that pissed me off the most was when Logan Chamberlain was giving me some shit. And I kind of went back at him a little bit. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're coming at, but, like, we've always had your back from day one. So, like, you need to pipe down a little bit. If you don't like the way we're going about it, just don't say anything. You don't have to be public and go against us.
Yeah, just eat it.
Yeah. And again, we were promoting his stuff for free. Like, just come on the show. Like, don't be difficult. And his dad was delight.
My Logan story was we played him in him and Justin Burton Jr. won in Corpus Christi, and me and Ty Lopez, we lost to them twice in the bracket.
Okay.
We lost game 2 and then with the 4-5 game.
Okay.
Or whatever that is. We had one more. We had one stat game after that, but we were playing them pretty well in the first game. And I remember Logan self-motivating himself, standing next to me going like, who the heck is this guy? There was some fouler language. But a year later or so, I saw him in the airport. He gave me a ride to an event, didn't even ask me for a beer as payment for, like, what could have been my share of a $50 or $60 Uber ride.
Yeah.
I find him to be very intense.
Yes.
And so I give him some leeway when it comes to cornhole, and this is his living.
Yeah.
He's doing it as a pro. So I understand when we attack things or when we come out a little sideways about the ACL or some change, like, he probably takes that pretty personal. He may or may not be on the pro committee at this point. So I get it, but he also needs to understand that most of the place where you guys come from,
exactly
where I tend to come from, like, we're pretty fair in what we say about those things. Like, we don't really harp on somebody too much. So,
well, and that was my
feeling with him is he learns from it all and he gets better from it. So,
well, and that was our conversation back like a few months ago. It's like, I understand that you don't agree with the way we're going about things, but that's none of your business. Like, that's our way of going about things. We've been doing things forever. And I understand that, like, this is your livelihood. We're not trying to attack your livelihood. I'm trying to make your livelihood better.
And long story short,
because guess what? Next year, when no one's talking about y'all, just remember that you guys were all pissed every time we posted something. Because I'm sure Jamie Graham and Hunter Thorson are coming out with that podcast any day now.
Any day.
I'm sure AJ Sims and Jeremiah Ellis are going to come bursting back to the scene. I'm telling you, like, there's no one else. So next year, when the only cornhole content you guys have to go with is through the ACL's social media page, that's fine. Like, good luck to everybody. That's fine. But, like, just remember, like,
I listen to their podcast. It's not as much fun. It's not bad.
Which
one? X's and O's and numbers.
Who's that?
Around the ACL.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, I'll listen to it every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, but Michelle puts it together. You know, the Jake Brandon's good. He's obviously at all the events. They're very knowledgeable. If you want the X's and O's of the sport, you can definitely listen to their show. Free plug for them. But, it's not as fun. They don't get into the drama. They don't get into all the stuff that I think the average cornhole fan enjoys about what you guys put together.
Well, and it's I think their show, I still listen to their show. Like, if I need to catch up on, like, results and stuff like that,
absolutely.
I'll turn it on.
So you could listen to, like you said, X's and O's.
But again, like, that's where we didn't need to just necessarily be X and O's because, like, they're providing that.
Yeah, we didn't have to keep going down that hole and following it as closely because 100%. They already had it covered. But
I mean,
just for the record, we did
a really nice show.
The draft,
first take-ish, if you will, without all the hot takes.
Yeah, and we succeeded with our bitching to get the draft televised, and there's still no app. So I'm just gonna leave that out here. So
I still don't.
I've been very nice.
Standings. I don't understand. I like teams. I want it to work. Like,
yes, I do too, man. But again, they shove it in a corner, and I told Stacy flat out, I'm like, you really missed out on this.
Well, I think what happened this year,
front room,
is that they know that all these team owners are hooked for 2 years.
Yeah.
So this year was like, all right, we got their money. We're gonna kind of iron some stuff out, work out some kinks, and then next year we're really gonna do it. The problem is, you gotta eventually show up and do it. Like if this is going to be the future of it, and I'm still not convinced now seeing like the model, it can be very exciting when the matches are close.
Are good.
But when they're not, it's just not that great.
There's no guarantee that like the championship's going to be good.
Very difficult to follow too. When you're at the event, it is very difficult to follow when there's three teams all going. And again, I know it's like a time thing, but it's tough. It really is tough to follow. And then there's zero promotion and finding out team records. And it was like, we're going to get outside ownership, so we don't have the responsibility.
I don't like the shift to tournament play.
You don't? Okay.
When they were playing sort of round robin and have a standings to a playoffs, I think that was a little easier for the average fan to follow.
I would agree.
Walk around, watch the team you liked, watch them play their 2 or 3 matches for the day, and they were done. And then, the playoff was the playoffs, and it mattered at Worlds, and people got around and really watched it. It was cool. And I feel like that is also something that going to Worlds is part of the experience, seeing these things and stuff. And, you add that celebration, you add that component to every single Open now or wherever whatever, a couple signatures, 4 of them. It kind of takes away from what the World Championship component is.
Yeah.
I'd be for more money, whatever, and a trophy, but, we've already seen Vegas celebrate. We've already seen Cali celebrate. We've seen, Texas celebrate. So
I agree. I agree. All right. We have a dramatic reading here. We do.
Oh, okay.
They pulled up here.
Get it.
Good. This is from Jay Corley. Yes, coaches are very valuable in every sport. How involved as a coach is during live games would vary from player to player. I believe there are a handful of players that would greatly benefit from having a coach to call strategic timeouts, discuss shot selection, and help players manage downtime between matches. So this was in response to a Chris Roybal post who asked a question, would cornhole players benefit by having a personal coach on side to look at or to talk to for support during a match? Eric, you being a former pro, what are your thoughts about like a cornhole coach?
I think there's a lot of room for that in the sport.
Yeah.
I think there's room for, some players that somebody's trusted, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be the best player. Probably to get the players who can afford to pay them, you're probably going to have some sort of credentials. Probably not going to get that guy with the 7-8 that says he knows enough about cornhole to coach somebody.
Yeah.
They're probably going to want some, former pro Derek King type guy who's done enough.
Let's not throw that name out though. Let's not. He's burned enough bridges through this community. All right, like he still owes me a bunch of money. Like
podcast, right?
I'm still getting hit on my. Yeah, exactly. So anybody but DK. I get the sentiment, but anybody but DK.
Well, I'm sorry to bring up a bad name.
It's all good.
Like I can see some of these players
Greg
retire
Geary has
into
a better
role
one.
like that, traveling around. Being that guy that is the rock for a team. I was on the pro committee my first year, and there was that was one of the early controversial rules that we changed because you really couldn't police the coaching.
Yeah.
There, like almost every junior's dad was watching the game, and you could watch him do, thumb up, ups, just look up, tip his hat, like shoot it, right? It's open, it became impossible. I remember, I think one of your friends, Lori Duell, had a moment where she struggled with some of that going on.
Yeah.
And she was, petitioning the pro committee to make some rule changes. And ultimately it was like the step over rule where we're like, we can't enforce it.
Yeah.
So now everyone can have it, which is great because now Lori does it for Miranda.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When they're playing or whatever, like you can do that now for your partner. And I think we see it. Mostly we see it with partners.
Yeah.
When somebody's going deep in singles, their partner is nearby, doing that for them. So I think there's value in it.
There is value in it. I think you're right, though. I think there's going to be I'll be interested to see who first one that kind of makes that leap to do it.
Well, I mean, you always said you wanted to get back into coaching.
Yeah, it's not
like,
cornhole.
You wouldn't do cornhole? Like, not exciting enough for you?
No, it's not that. I guess I don't really see, like, if we're talking like during matches, like, I think you'd need more of like just like a mental coach than anything.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of what the niche that Amisha's trying to follow, you know, trying to get like the mindset so that you should work on your mindset before you even get to the tournament. So if you need help while you're there, like, you're probably already lost.
You're looking for a cornhole shaman?
Kind of like
rather than a coach.
I get like somebody to talk
X. Probably the first step.
X's and O's too.
And
like, wouldn't be a bad idea.
You're just like, you got your goal is to basically say, yeah, you got this. Like, you got that shot, right? Like,
yeah. No, an X's and O's guy, I think like a guy like Jamie Graham could be phenomenal, because I think Jamie Graham probably has some of the highest cornhole IQ out there. You know what I mean? He's thinking 2-3 bags ahead. And guys that can do that and physically execute it, like those are the guys that could be very good at coach. But again, what does success look like at that? And are these guys that are still actively playing, they don't want to go coach competition?
True,
right? Like, why? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
They're not there yet in their career.
And why would somebody?
Like Modlin does it?
Yeah, that would be exactly. You know? Somebody with some name power that's been there, done that before, but like somewhat like a rando, like
the right attitude.
What the fuck are you gonna listen to me for? Like, oh yeah, you shoot the airmail. Like, oh, I want you to go backside and just drag that corner, right? You can do that. Like, I can't. Like, I can do it 1 out of 30 throws, but like, you should be able to do it. You're a pro.
Yeah, but you know,
but
those
I think
who
a lot
can't
of that
do
coach
teach.
Is probably what you mentioned is, you know, a guy like Modlin, if he's coaching somebody, he's probably near them, like, you know, Tiger's swing coach, right? So you've got this guy who's functioning a bit like what Misha's doing or what Modlin could potentially do, where they're practicing with you from time to time. They are helping you in a lot of ways. And then then you look to them for confidence during a game.
Yeah, you're
right?
they're a binky.
Yeah, Albert would always be lurking when Tanner was playing deep, and Tanner could look over and see his wife and know that, like, she just agrees with whatever it is that he's going to do.
Yeah.
She's just like, almost everything to the head. Yes.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah. You got it. Right. It's nothing. I mean, she's not better than Tanner at cornhole. She's just there to make sure Tanner knows he's got someone rooting for him.
Correct. Exactly. And I think that's important. And I do think that there is something to be said about most of the guys that tend to be consistent have some sort of a crew that follow them.
Yeah.
We don't get a whole lot of loners out there, you know, that find success.
Isn't that what Chris was kind of referring to? It seemed like there was some sort of game where he probably ran into a crew of people cheering him on and maybe didn't have that backing that he was looking for.
If I have to,
at home at a regional or something.
If I work myself back through there, I think it was the game against Costanza and Sliker. And I'm assuming just because
WTF crew's like
right there, it's a Texas space, so I'm assuming it was like that crew. Again, I don't know who it was. I never reached out to Chris, but if we were doing our investigation,
and if you ever met Taylor, I have a hard time believing he was super loud. His crew would be.
Costanza's close to Texas. He's a Louisiana guy.
Correct.
Who probably plays some TCL, so they were probably firmly in their corner.
A little bit.
You know, you didn't have Arizona following, you know, Chris, because he's a Nebraska-Arizona combo team now. It's not like when he had Gina, it was like everybody from Arizona is still following him.
Correct.
Yeah. And those Texas guys go deep sometimes. I've seen them rooting for their own, and the whole Texas contingent, all of them,
correct,
are there cheering on their guys.
And I would argue
TCL is so amazing.
That's exactly. That was just going to say that's and I never really realized it. That's what separates the TCL from the ACL.
Yep.
When you go to events, it's never just a doubles team that's playing in the finals. It's a doubles team, and you're also playing the 60 buddies that they're all in the crowd that are loud as fuck, rooting on their boys,
all cheering on their boys.
And that's the difference. Like, that's the environment, because like the people in the crowd care about who's going. If I'm watching a match, I don't really give a shit who wins. I just want you to entertain me. But TCL, like, these guys are like, they're your boys. Like, they get pride if somebody from like their club wins and takes it down. And now, like, you just don't get that same sense.
Only ACL tournament that I felt had a similar energy.
Okay.
Can you guess which one I'm going to throw out there?
Was it one that we were at?
It was.
Okay.
We were in attendance.
Let me think back on where we have been across the world here. No.
First Worlds.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, you had that whole gym, like, it was packed because ESPN 8 had the Ocho thing going on.
Well, First
you had
Worlds,
other shit happening, but then
First Worlds too, they still had the
advanced bracket and
conference
everything.
cup
And the conference cup.
Like, that was
Conference Cup built that.
Dude, that was the most fun. That's still to this day. That and the very first teams championship match. Those two separate events were probably the most electric atmospheres in cornhole like I'd ever been a part of.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Yeah, and you do get I played in one of those. We from the West. I played in one of those, and we lost it. We came in second to the Carolinas. But who thought the West was going to be there?
Yeah.
Right? With me playing singles.
Yeah.
I played Frank Modlin a bunch of times. But Tyler and Brevin went out and did their thing in doubles, and Tyler was slow playing, doing the Tyler Parent thing at the time. And they carried us, and NorCal and SoCal came together. It was an awesome experience.
Oh yeah.
And definitely when the Carolina players are doing well, that gym follows them. Yeah. They love Jamie.
Oh yeah.
When Duncan Clemmer hit that huge shot,
Dunky Dunk.
The whole gym blew up.
That was crazy too.
They love it. They love Frank Modlin. They love their guys.
They do.
So.
Was that Alex Rawls breakout in the advance that year? Was that his, or was that the next year? Wasn't it?
No, I think he was already pro.
No, he wasn't a pro yet.
That was
the first time I saw him. He was advanced.
Yeah, that would have been that year. Yeah, it had to have been.
Because it was him and God, who's the
because that
Holland.
was when,
wasn't it Holland too?
Yeah, because
that went off on. He might have been the next year.
No, you're right. I think you're right because that was when that was when Dogcast was still there.
Yeah,
that was early on.
Holland in the finals. There,
I was trying to think because I kept thinking it was too early. I'm like, oh no, I'm thinking of the most recent time. You're thinking of the very first.
Yeah, the very first Worlds that we went to.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, I would agree.
Those Worlds, especially the older ones, and obviously the players are better than ever now.
Yes,
but there was a time that Tanner Halbert and both guys were coming over from the ACL.
Oh, it's a big deal.
Playing in advanced singles.
Yeah, I mean, Tanner Halbert won the advanced World Championship, and at the time that was considered the hardest tournament in the world.
Yes,
and he won it as a former king of cornhole.
And I still think it's arguably one of the hardest.
It's still to this day.
Obviously, there's a couple of really great players you won't see, but every one of those guys is gunning to be a pro, and they've been grinding all year in a way that is unique.
But you don't have, you can't have pros playing in advance like you did back in the day. That's the difference.
True.
And that's
you get a couple of crossover ACO guys or whatever, former pros or something like that mixed in, but
Yeah, I agree. All right, I think it's time to cue the rap horn.
Let's do it. Actually, I have one more question for the room.
Oh, shoot it. What's
scarier? Actually, this is really just for Eric because we don't really have to face this kind of competition. But what's scarier to you? A first, in the advanced division, somebody who rapidly got there. This is within their first year of the ACL, and they're already close to finishing regionals, or that guy that's just a steady grinder that's always around, just really good in his area.
Well, I would tell you the first guy is that if I'm pulling a draw, if I ever have a chance of beating the best of the best, it's usually in the first game when they've had a bye.
Fair enough.
I can't tell you how that one is tough for them. They're sitting and waiting when you get a game in under your belt, and then you get to play them. They're often maybe a little tight. That's the guy I want to play. I would probably say I'd be more scared of the hot young player because he's probably going to come out. The new guy, he's going to come out probably shooting and doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Where the steady Eddie guy is going to come out and do what I do. So on a personal level, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to run my bags and, hopefully it's enough. And if it is, great. And if it isn't, great. I'm moving on to my next game.
I would argue the steady Eddie guy is you can argue maybe he wants it more because they've been grinding at it longer. The new guy, they might just be, it's a happy accident. I don't know what this is. People keep telling me I'm really good. I'm just keep winning games. Yeah. And we've seen that a bunch.
And they
guys
don't know what they don't know yet. So.
Correct.
That's the scary thing about my point was that advanced division. It's filled with both ends of that spectrum.
Yeah. Agreed.
So that's why that bracket's just so freaking scary.
Okay.
All right, rap horn time. There we go. Yeah, I had to go a little rapid there for Mr. Tscherne.
All right, you can reach us on social media at YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at Big Ass Cornhole.
Facebook, just throw a Cornhole podcast on there for Big Ass, and you'll find us. Thanks again to Draggin Bags. You the best. Head over to Draggin Bags, pick yourself up a set of bags today.
And if you're looking to support the show, you can do so over at Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole for the price of a beer a month, you get some bonus content with the video versions of our episode. We do happy hour. I know we're way overdue for one. It's just been busy, man.
I mean,
yeah. I don't. I'm just
You're
trying to look
job hunting. I'm house hunting. It's like weekends aren't really free right now, so it's just a little crazy.
And if you're listening to this, if you could say like just a sign, like if you're the praying type, like I'm going for a third interview for a job on Thursday, so hopefully that goes well and things keep trending the right direction. Your boy's trying to get out of this physical therapy world a little bit, and I'm just can't treat any people anymore.
Just don't lose your touch, because I'm getting older, so I was looking forward to free care down the line.
I can always go back to it, but I just need to change for a little bit.
You learned enough. I mean, your wife's also still there too. She probably knows way more than you. So
if you have a heart or a lung problem, that's.
I mean, have you seen me? Come on, both of those are in my future.
Yeah, if you have cardiac pulmonary problems, that's my wife's the one to go see. So if you have any other issues, I can maybe help you.
I'll help you
if it's orthopedic related. I kind of think so. Other than that, but no, chronic pain is just. It's a horrible. Can I tell you this? All right, so
spot to be in.
Crazy story that happened to me at work this morning. My first patient of the day. So we have this process. The patient sign in the front desk, and I work like I'm part of like a chronic pain company, right? So they either can see the doctor or me or behavioral health. So they sign at the front desk. Front desk will change their color on my screen. It'll change to orange. When it changes to orange, that is my alert saying patient's ready, checked in, and copays taken, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I go out to the waiting room. Now, mind you, my first patient has canceled on me or no-showed weeks. Like, I haven't seen this lady in like 2 months. So I go to the waiting room, I say their name, and the lady looks over, and she's like, did you say so-and-so? I'm like, yeah. And she stands up, and I'm like, that's funny. Like, she doesn't look too familiar, but I'm like, mind you, it's been like almost 2 months. I have like 150 patients, probably still, whatever.
Yeah.
Bring her back. We go through a whole treatment session. We're talking 45 minutes. I ask her how home exercises are going, and she's like, oh, they're going okay. And I'm like, you no-showed me a bunch. I'm like, when do you want to come back? And she's like, oh, it goes along with the whole thing, right? Finish her out, print out the schedule, gone. Sitting at my desk, typing a note, knock on the door. Go to the door, answer it. And she's like, I'm so sorry. Am I too late for my appointment? I'm like, you look familiar. What's the name? It's my first patient of the day.
Oh.
And I'm like, hold on, you gotta come in for a second. Like, what? Wait, okay, what is your name again? And she's like, and she says her name. I'm like, I just saw you though, but it wasn't you. So basically,
change faces.
So basically, I unfortunately, one of my frustrations with being where it's at, very similar, like one letter difference. Like one ends with an N, one ends with an A.
Okay.
I'm putting my hand up. I should have double checked. I should have asked the patient's name, date of birth, all that stuff when they got back. My defense is that's why I have fucking front desk workers.
True.
Literally, your one job is to change the color on my screen, collect a copay, and check their ID. Make sure you have the right person. We don't have the cream of the crop up there this morning, and I was just about up to there. So I go up to the manager, and I'm like, hey, you got to check your people here. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I just wasted 45 minutes of my life. Like, I can't bill for any of that stuff that I just did. Like, what are we doing here?
Sure you can.
She looks at me and she's like, my last day is Thursday. I don't give a fuck. I'm like,
that's nice.
Oh, God, I hope this interview goes well. So yeah, it was just, my first time in my career, 15 years doing this. I've never, and as soon as like this other lady knocked on the door and I opened the door, I'm like, I fucking knew it. I knew, but then she went away. She went along with it. She went like, I've never met this lady in my life. And I asked her, I'm like, how's the home exercise going? How did you feel after last session? She's like, oh, like pretty good. So I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, that's weird. You put on a little weight since the last time I saw you, but don't we all? Now it completely makes sense. This lady's just completely psycho, and it just was just going along with whatever I said. I'm like, that is just ridiculous. So that was
I love it.
Great way to start the morning. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
crazy.
Great. Yeah. So the front desk. The front desk. They do not like me right now because I let them. Because I asked them, there's 3 of them up there. One, and they kind of like rotate. One of them will do check in, and then the other 2 will check out and schedule people. So I'm like, I already knew who it was, but I walked up the front desk. I'm like, hey, who checked in this person? And they're all like looking, and they're like, "Oh, it wasn't me." And I look at the girl. I'm like, "Who checked this person?" And she's like, I don't know." And I look, and I like clicked on the log, and I'm like, "That's you, right? This is your name." So I'm like, "Did you check their like? You didn't collect your copay? Like, did you check their ID, or did you just mark them as ready?" She's like, "Well, I thought I did." I'm like, "You didn't." And like, let me tell you why. So I explained the whole story, and she like kept looking. She's like, "I'm so confused." I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
She's
like,
not who she said she is.
I have a rule when I'm very patient when they start. People are going to make mistakes. No problem whatsoever. I will go over everything with you 2, maybe even 3 times. But if you're making mistakes after you've been there for 6 months, the same stuff, one of two things in my mind. Either you're too dumb to learn something, or you don't care.
Give a shit.
You don't care what I'm saying and you're not paying attention. So which is it? Are you dumb or are you just not listening? Because like one of the two, like I can't fix one. The other one, like we're just going to let you go and we'll find somebody new, I guess. But it's just very frustrating. So
well, we can fix this
work drama.
By ending a podcast.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Yay.
Hey, everybody.
Eric, man, thanks you very much, dude.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, on that note, just a quick shout out. When you're done praying for Sean out there on Thursday, give a good thumbs up to Ty Lopez. He's got a couple more chemo things left for him.
How's he doing?
And, shout out to Brian Brewer. Brian Brewer's daughter's going through something as well. So those two are good friends of mine.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be playing Spencer's with Ty. So, just keep them in your thoughts out there. And anybody else who's been going through something, man.
The Lopez family's been very good to us over the years, and Shot King's family. So like they're very good people. I was really sad to see, but I'm hoping he's doing well.
He's doing well. He's
Good.
doing very, very well. I think he's got 2 more left. I was talking to him last week, and he was in.
Obviously, as well as you can.
One, and he's still playing cornhole, and he's still doing very well. Him and Chris Roybal took something down. The day after chemo. So,
sweet.
Guys still top. So,
and I don't know if you remember old.
Just keep him and
former Patreon member.
You just keep him and Brewer going.
Former guest of the show, Davin Ohms.
Davin Ohms, yeah.
He just posted on Facebook that he's cancer free right now, so in remission. So I want to give Davin a quick shout out.
Great,
congrats, brother. That's cool. Love seeing that stuff. Hell yeah! So
I'm unfortunately at that age where these things are more common than some of our younger guys out there. So
Eric, how old are you?
Yourselves out there, guys.
Eric, how old are you?
I just turned 50.
Okay, all right. So you're not. I mean,
50 in January.
Dude, I turned 40.
You're California 50 though. Look at you.
Yeah, I turned 40. And it's coming up quick, man. I'm like, oh, it's hitting me so hard, and like it doesn't help that like my kids are like, you're old. I'm like, you don't understand. Like I know you're just joking, but like it's killing me inside.
Yeah, I know I'm old.
I know that.
Stop reminding me.
I got to work at it now. I think I told you I do a lot more hiking than cornhole. I do a lot more working out 2-3 days a week. Doesn't ever seem like it's working, but I know it's still good for me. So
I know. I like
just the
had
grind.
to have the serious like look in the mirror. I'm like, you need to start working out and like actually eating right again. Like this fucking sucks. I hate it. But my wife's already doing it. She's lost like 40 pounds. I'm like, well, I can't have like the skinny wife and like some slob husband. So I gotta get my shit together, I guess. So it's no fun.
Yeah, no problem marrying her like that. So.
That's true. To be fair, that is very true. That's very true.
On that note,
thanks, Dane. Build up my confidence. All right, this interview is going to go great. Can't wait. Hope you guys enjoy your week. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But until then, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it
later.
Awesome.